Hey everyone, it's been a while since I've actually done an actual video of game pickups. Probably 3 months since I've done something like this. Been going through a lot, different jobs, and just life in general has been kind of keeping me away from things. The overall progress of everything, the Vita collection is going really strong. I've just kind of stopped doing updates with those simply because I'm not hunting for older games. It's now just getting all the new stuff coming out and trying to keep up with limited runs releases that they have 2, 3, 4 times a month. Um, I will say it's going great. That part of it, I've been posting some pictures here and there. Um, for the most part, I mean, I've gotten some of the more recent releases, such as Demo. I also managed to snag Broken Age. Um, a new pickup from GameStop actually just got Friday. Color and Malice, which is a visual novel. Kind of seems interesting. I'm not too big in these what they call otami games where you're playing as the female and it's a bunch of guys that are trying to romance you. This one kind of seems interesting because you're a kind of a police detective. Something had there was a catastrophe that happened that kind of brought on a sort of apocalypse. You get kidnapped, and you find a collar locked around your neck with a bomb or poison in it, and all of a sudden all these guys appear claiming that they want to help you, but who knows if they're really there to help you or if one of them might be the person who kidnapped you. So it's kind of interesting. I also managed to grab Darius Burst Chronicles for the Vita, so now I have all three versions of that. The limited edition, standard edition for the PS4, the import version, and now the limited runs Darius Burst collection. So that's going really well. Pictures on my Facebook and Twitter every once in a while I'll post of new Vita games coming out. Looking forward to a lot of the new stuff coming, especially Ys 8. Really excited about that release. Danganronpa version 3, which is coming out here in the next month or so. Really excited to get back into that series. I love the Danganronpa series. Some other things I've managed to pick up along the way. I actually got a new Dreamcast game, an indie one, no less. Alice's Dreams Tournament, which is kind of a Bomberman clone. This is up to 4 players, and I got the. This is part of a Kickstarter that I did some time ago, so I ended up getting kind of the American version and not the PAL version. It comes in a double case, kind of like the PAL. Of course, it says Dreams Strass on the side, so it's not exactly Dreamcast, but everything else looks legit. I mean, even on the backside, they did a good job as to put all the little icons on the bottom for what it supports. So it's 1 to 4 players, the VMU, standard controller, arcade stick, VGA box, and it's region free, so it'll play on any Dreamcast. Fun thing too is my name is actually in the credits of this game as a backer, which is kind of cool. I love the fact that it comes with these little inserts and everything. They've got the manual and then an extra one of the front cover. There's also the Japanese, I think it's a Japanese alternative cover. So you can kind of swap those out, which is really kind of neat. And then there's just the 2 discs. CD 1 and 2, and they each have their own art on it and everything, which is kind of cool. I haven't actually gotten around to playing this game yet, which is kind of funny. I opened it up, saw my name in the credits and the manual and all that. Here's the first disc. I'm just kind of excited, so that was kind of cool. That I could say that my name is actually in a Dreamcast game on the credits. So, also, I think in the last video I had kind of vented about that a guy had snatched up Dead or Alive on the Saturn right underneath me at the Midwest Gaming Convention. Well, it just so happens that I've been using East Starland a lot thanks to a recommendation from My Life with Sega. So I put my name in saying to notify me when the game came in stock, and they did. So here's my copy of Dead or Alive for the Sega Saturn. Especially now that I've been starting to stream a little bit more again. I've been doing some Saturn imports and some Dreamcast imports now that I actually, for a long time, for I think since last year, I managed to find a import Dreamcast, but I never really had an opportunity or a reason to really open it. now that I'm starting to get some more Dreamcast imports, I finally decided to crack it open. Unfortunately, I found that inside the motor was damaged. Somebody had tried to do a kind of a quick fix for it where they put electrical tape on the actual motor of the laser lens, and it wouldn't run any games. The system would turn on, but it wouldn't spin any of the discs, and it wouldn't read it. So I ended up just taking, thankfully one of the disc replay had 2 Dreamcasts in stock, and they cut me a deal on it. So for $30, they gave me basically a whole new system that they said they guaranteed worked, and it did. So now I had an extra Dreamcast that I didn't feel afraid of taking apart and using it for parts, which I have a feeling is going to happen coming down the future with a lot of Dreamcast power supplies going bad, or the laser assemblies going bad. Surprisingly, it was very easy to swap out the laser accessories. So I used the American one, and I did get my Japanese Sega Dreamcast going, which I kind of found unique. If you've ever seen, here's the bottom half of the Japanese. It's got a green sticker, whereas the normal North American ones have a black sticker. The other unique thing about these, and I guess these are kind of rare to come by, this particular one had just a regular cover for where the modem would sit. So as you can see that this one has no modem connection here where normally it would sit. So I thought that was unique, but well, I got Fighting Vipers 2 in here. So I was streaming some Japanese import games. I will be doing that more. Speaking of Dreamcast stuff, September 9th, 2017, the Sega Addicts will be doing their 24-hour marathon again. This year I hope to actually be with them. We'll be doing our stuff from our Philly headquarters. And it's 24 hours. We're putting the schedule together right now for the games we'll be playing. There'll probably be some oddities here and there, especially if I end up bringing some of my stuff. We'll have some unique things to kind of toy with. We will be giving away prizes. The person who is with us the longest during the stream will win a Dreamcast system with a VMU. We will be giving away Dreamcast games, as well as some Steam codes for people who show up, so we'll be having random prizes, and a couple other surprises I'm working on in the background, too, that I hope to do that will come to fruition, and I'm kind of excited about. So, yeah, big stuff. If you want to find out more information on that, you can follow me. I'm actually going to be streaming Dreamcast games all the way up to the marathon on their Twitch channel at twitch.tv/SegaAddicts. You can also find them at www.sega-addicts.com, where they do reviews. We still do our podcast. We actually just recorded one for Blue Stinger tonight. That'll be up on Wednesday to listen to. We have some fun. We also have a Discord channel for those of you who are Dreamcast fans or Sega fans in general. Ask me for the Discord link. I might even put it in the description below here. But aside from that, moving on, I managed to actually find a copy, and I'm not seriously collecting for the PS4, but I happen to be getting a lot of games for them lately. I found Gravity Rush Remastered. Surprisingly, I guess this game's really hard to find now. It's been going up in price on Amazon, or they've been sold out. So that was kind of cool to run across that, and they gave me a good deal on it. A game I've been playing recently, which I'm hoping to spend some more time with, is Valkyrie Revolution. This is both for Xbox and PS4. I picked up the Xbox One just because I've been picking up a lot of PS4 games lately, and I figured there's going to be a less printed run for the Xbox One, or at least less people are going to pick it up. So I figured why not, and I prefer the Xbox One controller over the PS4 controller. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually excited to see how this one turns out. I did get the limited edition, which came with the soundtrack and a collector's pin, just because I've got to support Sega, and it's actually pretty decent so far. I'm on Chapter 3, and it's entertaining. Kind of slow going, but entertaining. A game I've actually been hunting for a long time. I love trying to find original Sega arcade ports, and one that's been kind of on my list to look forward to that I kept missing, and it was a really limited print for it for whatever reason. It was only available on the Wii. Is the arcade hit packs LA Machine Guns and Gunblade New York. These were Model 2 and Model 3 Sega arcade games. I actually played this at GameWorks. They had both of these systems there, which was kind of cool because LA Machine Guns, being that I'm a big Sega Model 2 fan, having two of their systems, runs on that same board. And then Gunblade New York was a sequel. There was a third sequel that was supposed to be for the Dreamcast that unfortunately was canned and never released. So Matt actually happened to find a copy for me at Disc Replay. I did pay a pretty penny for it, but I'm really glad that I actually finally found a copy of this. So my wanted list for the Wii games are now complete. And all my Sega games that I've been wanting for the system I now have. So that's kind of cool. Kind of excited about that. Lastly, there was a Dreamcast indie game that HuCast came out with, which was Ghostblade, a shmup or shoot 'em up shooter game for the Dreamcast that was great, except for it really bogged down the system. I mean, it kind of showed where the Dreamcast didn't have quite enough memory or power to run the game. There's a lot of lag in it, but it was very pretty. Thankfully, HuCast released a PS4 version. It was available digitally on both Xbox One and PS4, but they came out with a PS4 edition that was only available through PlayAsia, and there was a limited edition released, and I jumped on it, simply because I liked the game that much. I was actually thinking I wasn't going to get it. They had a pre-order guarantee, and I used a different email address than the one that I normally use when I buy stuff from PlayAsia. So even though I got to it within the first couple hours of it going live, and then they sold out pretty quickly, surprisingly, they still sent me a copy. So with it, they gave this cute little sticker for Ghostblade HD. And they have these other little sticker packs here. We've got the 3 ships that you play as, and then the 3 main heroines that pilot the ships. And along with it, they actually gave the a game in a nice little box, limited edition box. This one, and they actually have a foil in the back because they're each individually numbered, I guess. I happen to get number 629, and I think there's only 2,000 copies that they actually made worldwide. But this is region free, and will work with any version of PlayStation 4. I'm actually going to open this because I haven't opened it yet. Because this will be a game that I end up popping into my PS4 here at some point when I finish Valkyrie Resolution. So pull that off. That's kind of cool. Of course, it's wrapped still. So pull off this. People are screaming at me right now because I'm opening this, but whatever. I'm going to play it. So I think in here is the soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken, and some more goodies inside, it looks like. Let's see what we got. So inside, looks like we have a nice little perforated postcard. Here's the back side of the postcard. And then the front sides, there's 3,000 copies. So I got number 629 of 3,000. And a little thank you, that's kind of cool. And there is a soundtrack, which is really neat, because I really like the music to this. East Asia Shut Soft, which is really neat. I'm not going to open the CD, but there's 14 tracks, so an hour's worth, so that'd be kind of cool to listen to. And then it looks like we got the game itself, which feels like it's in a different box than a normal PS4. I think the covers are reversible, but there's the front cover and the back side. So that's kind of cool. Looking forward to playing that. I think that'll be really fun. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to lately. Other than a few Vita games here and there, I haven't really been doing a whole lot. Just trying to get through some of my backlog. I managed to finish Persona 4 finally, or Persona 5. That took me over 86 hours to get through. That was a pain in the butt. I sat down for 3 days straight, I basically had an entire weekend that I could get through, and I just stayed up all night, chugging through about 8 to 10 hours a day trying to get through it. But yeah, so that's about all I've got for the time being. I haven't really picked much up in ways of video games, but if you haven't seen before, I've been doing a lot more Zenescope. I did another Zenescope unboxing from their San Diego Comic Con. Also, my streaming times, you can find me on Sega Addict Streaming from Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday nights. Usually I've been doing them later in the night, mostly midnight to 3 a.m. since my job now has me working at night. So, and I do some random streams during the afternoon as well. But stop by and say hi. I'm always looking for more people to talk about these old games with, especially Dreamcast stuff. So, hit me up sometime. Otherwise, that's it for now, guys. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.